Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another morning stream. Um Welcome back to a new session of me not knowing what to do. But we're gonna try to figure it out. I don't have a plan really. I should plan things out a little bit better probably for the channel as well. I want to make progress, but I'm not entirely sure what I want to do, where I want to go. I quite like the live streaming, but with videos, I can plan stuff out a little bit better. So I think this is a good brush to use for sketching. But I think with videos and the planned stuff, that's probably gonna go a little bit better. But who cares? We're here. We're streaming live. I'm gonna sketch. I think. No pictures or anything. I think I will just try to use my imagination. I don't really have any reference up. Maybe I should. But I don't really know yet what to do. So bear with me here. Good size. It's a little bit big. One step smaller. So yeah, let's just go and see what we end up with. I have really no clue, nothing in my mind yet on what to paint. I think it's probably gonna be sci-fi / fantasy. Probably sci-fi. I feel like we should do some more sci-fi. I think that's yeah. Let's do sci-fi. Because I haven't done it in a while, and sci-fi is kind of cool. Yeah, let's do that. Something in the sky. I don't know. It's really rough. Probably the first few sketches are gonna be meh. Usually it takes a while to sort of get going. For me. But hopefully once we get going, it's going to be good. I kind of want these mountains to be less normal mountains. Good eraser, always. So yeah, let's not make this. Let's just turn this into mountain stuff. We're gonna be really rough at first, and probably quite boring. But sometimes it's just good to start easy, you know, to start with the things you know, to get comfortable. And then once you have the sort of once you're back in the flow, you can start to become a little bit more to step a little bit more out of your comfort zone. So the goal is to do some rough sketching and to color those sketches in, and then we're probably gonna paint one of these or two of these later in a later live stream. I kind of want to keep them nice and rough. Sort of want to expand my I don't know, my feel for shapes and things like that. That's really good. Sketching is really good for exploring shapes, and I should do it a lot more because I use a lot of photos, and that's really cool and all, but doesn't really help with finding shapes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to find interesting shapes while I am sketching. Maybe there are buildings up here as well. And at first the sketches are gonna be really rough. We will refine those. Put some line weight to play and stuff like that. Well, that's one. Not sure if I like it so far. But, what else can we do? Trying to sort of find shapes to work with. Not sure what this is supposed to be. Looks like a... I think we're gonna make this some sort of a complex building thingy. It's a bit random though. So that's... Probably should study a little bit more on perspective, really, to for this one. I think I want to make a couple of paintings or things with strong perspective. So yeah, that's gonna be a new challenge for me. I kind of know how perspective works and all, but it's always good to practice it. Not sure, but just gonna leave it here. I'm not sure where to go with this one. So I'm gonna continue. I kind of want to go with strong perspectives. So I don't know. Looking up into buildings or looking down, or just seeing if we can do something with perspective here. This probably can diverge a little bit towards the end. I don't know. Maybe it is some sort of a market street. Yeah, let's try to make this a street. So there's sort of shopping windows and things like that. Maybe maybe there's a garage here where people are working on. Let's see, something like that. People are working on a on a vehicle. I don't know what kind of vehicle, but some signs and stuff like that. Something like this. I don't know. We'll figure it out eventually, but I have a clearer idea in my head now, so I think we can do something with it. At least we got the perspective down, and I think that's the most important bit here. I don't really like it going probably to like this, and this should be a little bit stronger, I guess. Something like that. I don't know. What else can we do? I don't know. I feel like this things like this are done a million times, like a sort of a platform, and you look out over the city. And sort of is sort of a default scene. So I don't really want default. I want to I want more interesting scenes. Maybe it's sort of a jungle scene. I don't know, but that makes it a little bit too Avatar probably. Fairly quickly if we were to go with sci-fi and get these arches, sort of a lot of common stuff, but sort of done in entertainment design. And it's probably for a good reason, because it probably works. Well, not probably, it just works. That's why you see those designs return every time. Because why use something different that you're not sure about whether it will work or not? What if you have a futuristic sort of elf city? What if sort of the elves? What if Rivendell set in the future? Let's go with that. Let's try to not necessarily copy Rivendell, but I mean it's designed well. Yeah, you can read the books and go from there, or you can pick up the designs that they made for the trilogy, for the movies. But not necessarily Rivendell, but sort of that architectural design stuff, something like that, and then set into the future, or maybe a cross between Rivendell and what's the other place called? Gondolin? No, don't remember. City in the trees. I feel like this should be a little bit more yeah, let's do it like this. First I thought, no, I don't want it like that, but through there. And then there are a few sort of almost like spikes. And then there are stuff across the river and a lot of trees and I don't know, maybe some rocky stuff. And then no, we need some cool mountains back there. We can look into cool mountains later. Something like that. Sort of looking at 4 or 3 totally different things here. Well, we could scratch this one in maybe eventually because I kind of sort of started that without really knowing what to do, and I'm sort of starting to get back into the starting to get a little bit back into the flow, but not entirely there yet. Maybe I should just do a long, or not a long, just the entire live stream session, just sketching things out and see what stuff we end up with. Because I think it's a really good way to sort of train a couple of things, perspective and stuff like that. Expand my visual library. Not sure what this is supposed to be, but probably some sort of maybe some special site, or maybe just buildings. Stacked. This is more fantasy-like. Well, I say fantasy, but it depends. You can make this sci-fi if you make it sort of with a lot of artificial lighting and stuff like that. It will come through as sci-fi. I think we have to come in here with line weight already, otherwise this is not gonna work. So this is sort of the foreground. Maybe there's a lot of signs and stuff like that and stuff. Something, so it's really rough. It almost looks like a windmill because of this, well, a Dutch, typical old Dutch windmill. Maybe we'll keep it. I don't know. As you can see, I'm all over the place with these things, but hopefully, eventually, we will figure some stuff out and find the things that we're looking for. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that we are doing totally different things here. Gives us an option to choose. I think I want to continue this sort of stacked design thing. Maybe there are some platforms. I don't know. It's a little bit big, wide at the top now, but can balance it out later. Still really rough, but As long as I know what I'm sort of looking at, it's okay. But I kind of like the ID. I think we can do a lot of cool stuff with this one. So I think this is my favorite, and this is my second favorite. This has a lot of work on it, but I like the perspective of this one. The same goes for this one. This is just way too generic, and this one as well. So I like these middle two, and the middle two I like the most because this is done a lot of times as well. These tall buildings. Excuse me, I'm having a bit of a cold. So what else can we do? I don't know. Get some inspiration from somewhere. Just put down strokes and hopefully it it will work out. Sometimes that's just a good idea. What's this supposed to be? No. Building? Probably. What is its function? I don't know. Work? Not necessarily. Maybe I have some inspiration here. I scribble down a lot of stuff down on paper when I'm sort of waiting for things or not really doing anything. And that's sort of what I'm doing right now, I guess. I think I really should do that more often because I think it can be a good source of inspiration. Maybe we should do something with designed ships or whatever. I don't want to look at art or I got strong perspective in my search results, but I don't know, forced perspective is a thing, right? Perspective. Forced perspective is sort of when you put a foreground object. Yeah, that's really cool. They use that in Lord of the Rings as well. But that's not what I'm looking for. You know what? Let's just throw down some stuff. See what we end up with. Maybe we should just put down a single line and start working from that line. Is that a viable strategy? I don't know. Maybe it is. least you have some guidance on the perspective and things like that. So not that bad of an idea actually. Probably. I want to go with maybe a more close-up shot of one of these buildings. To this stacked building type a lot. I really like that stacked design. Probably a little bit too much. I don't know. I feel it's kind of cool. Maybe there's some overhang. I don't know. With sort of almost like a scrap metal building. I think the perspective is a little bit too strong here. Probably do it like this. Better. I think it is. A lot of the signs and things dangling down. And I like that. It's a little bit the same as the one on top. That's okay. I think that's fine. Try to use a different design for the one on top than for this one. What we're gonna do in the distance. I don't really want to set this in a city, so I kind of want to make this a more lonely building. There's some windows, things like that, and has to go somewhere as well. So I'm starting to get more and more into the flow now, with working out those designs into actual buildings. So yeah, I'm really quite happy now. Pillar here, and then there's a sign, scrap metal, and this is sort of an overhang as well. Probably have some sort of a vehicle here. Some people around. This building is actually quite huge. That's the thing that we want to get across. Hopefully that will come across once we are done with the building. So yeah, I like that one as well. I'm getting much more confident now. Excuse me. So we can probably work on this one as well for a while. Let's kind of try to make this a little bit different from the ones that we already made. So we're gonna make a lot of curved angles here instead of the instead of the squares and the roughness. This is a little bit more polished. Yeah, I think that in this one we're gonna go with a lot of curves. Everything a little bit more friendly, let us say. This is supposed to be, but give it a function eventually. Yeah, I really like the last three one. The top two, I don't know, sort of they were the warm up. Let's say that they were the warm up. And we can forget about them. And for the last one, what do we do? The last one. I got an idea. Some sort of a rock. And this on some sort of a about shape. Goes back a little bit to the painting I did last time, but have to make sure that we sci-fi it up. Say, I don't think it's gonna work. A little bit too big. Big city in the background, a really big city with high buildings and to grab the eraser. A little bit more default errors. They're quite rough, but that's fine. I think keeping it rough sort of helps the design, because you don't really have to worry about the perfect brushstrokes. You can always erase stuff and sort of highlight stuff, and it's not like this is the end product. You have to do painting, everything. The line drawing, in the end, the line drawing will not even be there. So it works more as a guidance for the actual painting than anything else, and as a sort of a quick way to put quite detailed ideas down. Because I also use photographs as reference every now and then, or not, quite a lot actually. I start with a photograph, but cool thing about that is that you have the colors really good, really good colors, I think. The problem is that you don't have the detail from the full design. And I feel if you use this method, you start with the design, the focus lies on the design. And I think that's a good idea. So yeah, I think it's better for me to spend or to do the most of the projects that I'm gonna do, start them with a line drawing rather than a rather than photographs. Yeah, just building some substance to this. Not entirely sure about this design here. Let's do that. This hanging bits and stuff like that. That will come in later. I think I'm gonna crop away the top two once on the top. It's my center. So we're gonna do it like this: image, crop. And now we have 4. Almost as if there is a sort of an outline. Strange. Never mind. So now we have these 4, and these are sort of similar design. Things like that. So yeah, let's try to refine these. Not sure whether I should start a new layer and do the refinement on the new layer, or if I should just keep the layer and work from that. Why can I not? Oh, what's this? Ah! Never mind. 1 second, I gotta blow my nose. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I think I'm just gonna work in the same layer. Wait, can we? What's this? Ah, it's. It's just not fitting. That's too bad. I'm gonna work in the same layer because I can immediately erase the lines and things like that, and that sometimes gives me additional inspiration. So let's try to clean up this mess. Probably should work on 100% opacity. What's the size of this thing? Image size. Ooh, it's way too small. Ah, I remember. I did something. Let's make it 8,000 pixels wide. Wait. Did I say 800? I meant 8,000. So, and now we use the brush and it's twice as small, as you can see. It's good. Maybe this one instead? Better one? I think this is a really cool one. Alright. Let's use this one then. At 100% opacity. Yeah, this is how I like it. There we go. Then a little bit too much. This is the perfect. Wait, why? Second. What's going on? There we go. Alright. Continue with this. Can I? This is a big window. I don't know what it is. Is it a window? Is the I don't know yet. I think it's to be a window of some sort. The shop windows. Some pillars here and there. This is probably gonna take a while. Probably gonna take the rest of the stream to clean these all up. But I want to get them really nice and clean. And then next Monday, probably. Yeah, I think next Monday we will start to paint these. Okay. So that will be kind of cool. Go. And as you can see, we will still keep it fairly rough. Makes it a little bit faster to be rough. And as I said before, line drawing won't last. So not really too useful to keep it really clean. It's Not gonna survive anyway. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna try to sort of keep those to this dome kind of shape. We want this to be slightly different than the others, but not too different. I think they should all be set in the same world, maybe even the same city. So yeah. Should also have a sort of a subject here in the street. I don't know, maybe some sort of a car or vehicle and something like that. Probably more than one. There's one parked over here. Headlights. Stuff going on, I don't know. It's too cool. And maybe we can have some people here. I don't know. Maybe they have to wear some sort of a protection. Environment. I don't know. I feel like there's a sort of a curve going on like that. Be me, but not necessarily a bad thing. But 10 is right for this one. I don't want to clean up too much here. It's a little bit strange maybe, but all the clutter sort of, I hope it will reinforce the idea that this is a sort of a cluttered buildings made from scraps and something like that. These are sort of the favelas, correct term. Future. Maybe this was some high-tech stuff back in the day, but now it's patched up a lot of times. It has lost most of its glory. Probably some antennas and stuff like that going on there. A lot of we're gonna have to use a lot of verticals here, sort of support pillars, all those signs. This is a sort of a docking station for some sort of a spaceship thing, aerial vehicle. And this is actually quite relaxing. The sort of the main design is set. The main it's still designing, but got the perspective down. We got the composition down. So now it's just filling in blanks, I guess. Best way to describe it. Flower back here as well. Stuff like that. Yeah, we're actually getting there. How long have I been live for? 53 minutes. Wow. It feels good that I'm spending so much time sketching stuff out, actually. That I'm taking my time figuring out the designs and stuff like that. That's good. So in 5 minutes I will grab myself a coffee, and then we'll continue for probably another half an hour or something like that. Maybe longer. Maybe we'll throw in some basic color at the end, just to sort of have some color on them. But we'll see. Depends on how long we're gonna take with this. With these. Make this as some sort of a road thingy. Can get rid perspective lines. It's also part of the process. Just erase some stuff. Find some edges. And I can probably take a little bit more time refining these if I want to. Maybe I should do line drawings at some point. Perfect finished line drawings. I'm not really that kind of person that does that a lot. But maybe it's good to practice that at some point. Sure. This was the big sort of garage door. We need to. I need a slightly bigger brush here. The vehicle thing front. Not too refined yet, but getting there. Getting there. This one is probably gonna be the toughest one because I didn't really have a plan with this one. I think I'm gonna change it a little bit. Something like that. I think we have time to do some color. Depends on how much further I want to refine these. If I want to spend a little bit more time with them, then we don't have the time to do color. But if I say, you know what, let's just do color and see where we go from there, then we don't have to. Then we can start with color in a couple of minutes. Square. There are a lot of lines here. And as you can see, some of the lines still stay a little bit, but those can function as detail later, the rock or things like that. But it's not necessary to be very precise with spacing. It adds another layer of extra detail that we otherwise miss. I don't know what that is, probably some sort of measuring device. Is there anything I want to add on these in terms of detail? Could probably do a lot more detailing, line drawing, but like that they're still really rough. So yeah, we could spend as much time with these as we wanted. I think they're fairly decent now. I'm gonna grab a coffee and then in the meantime I will decide whether I want to continue with the line drawings or if I want to throw some color onto them. I think I want to throw some color into them just to have the color. Maybe we do some on the lines later, but we're just gonna see how they look with color and see if we sort of can get the design through. If not, then I might work on the lines later, a little bit more off street. And then Monday we will do the actual painting. And I'm gonna try to finish all 4 of them to a quite nice rough level. Alright, I will be right back. Let's put the break screen on. So that's looking all very professional. Stuff like that. There we go. I'm gonna grab myself a coffee. Be right back. I'm back. Great. Um, yeah, we probably could spend some more time refining those, but I'm an impatient man when it comes to paint. So we're gonna throw some color on these. I just wanna see how they turn out before I stop the live stream. Not sure how long I will be streaming for, but there are a couple of ways I could throw down color. We're gonna set this to multiply and we're gonna lock this layer. But I think I will go back to my trusted photo texture thingies and grab some color from that. I think I want this to be a little bit of a sort of green, quite green. I don't know why, but it's some plants growing over the buildings. I want this to be fairly clean. I want this to be sort of rusty and dusty. And this one, I'm not sure. This is my least favorite one. These two, actually. I like these two the most. So I don't know. This could be a good one for the watchtower thingy one. Ah, there's actually go. Yeah, this is actually quite cool. So grab a brush, and I think I'm not gonna bother too much with perfectly. We're just gonna throw this on here to work. That's a little bit right. Let's go to opacity. There we go. I'll be fairly rough with this one as well. It's just to get the overall sort of feel of the painting going. I should have probably sketched the city out a little bit better. There you go. That's what you get when you patient on to this sort of the next stage too quick. I want this to be. So maybe I will decide later that I have to get back to sketching at some point. Seems feels kind of backwards, but I sometimes tend to spend not enough time, and I know that I probably should be sketching now the line drawing instead of about the colors. Colors are actually quite easy. You can see we throw this on and it's kind of cool. Nope. But still, I don't know, I just love the fact that your painting sort of comes to life. Start throwing color on it. It's really probably some lighter. Fine. Grab the line as our color picker. So yeah, there's a lot to do on that one, of course, but does it feel right? I think it does. I think it does. So let's work on other ones as well. Machu Picchu, guys. Sure, if this is working. Kinda like the blue. I want the top to be more bluish and the bottom to green with some nice strokes of green here. So let's see if we can find it nice. This might actually be quite nice. Quite moody. That's actually quite good because if you want this to be the of glory that's been gone. A little bit too dark, but we could lighten this up. Yeah, that kind of works. Makes it almost fantasy-like, so have to that. So we want this to be sci-fi, not fantasy. Where do we light? I don't know yet. From the left, so we can light up this area of the building in the background here, and we can have a little bill here on the background with nice highlights and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this. And we still need some sort of mountains in the background, so we can grab this, make it a little bit darker, and then we have stuff to make our mountains with. So go here. It's a little bit too dark, but it should. I think I'm gonna keep a lot of the green there, just to have it there as a color for when we actually start the sort of stuff. Probably can as well. I don't want to have this. friendly. Really. And then have some strokes of green, just as a bit of extra contrast. And these colors are really rough. But I can see by looking at the when I'm zoomed out a bit, I can see that this one actually works quite well. This one not yet entirely. I think its contrast is a little bit too big. I think we need to be. Let's grab this. Some lights onto that. That's probably something we need to do later. It's good, nice highlights here and there to sort of separate the stuff. Yeah, that works already. Yeah, it's really rough, but it's to sort of establish the mood and the things of the painting, and then yeah, I think I got two nice ones already. We want the dusty and rusty for the bottom one. I think I really know what I want for this one, so I'm gonna work on this one because I don't really know. Maybe a little bit like this one. So I close that one, I guess. So we're gonna open this again and use this again here. Make it slightly small. Gonna get rid of the bottom. Really need the bottom. So it's a sort of it's not in broad daylight, this scene. A little bit brush that he uses large, so my PC can barely handle it. With the live streaming and all that stuff together, it's just much for him to handle. We probably should get some lighter sky in here. So maybe there is some sky here and there. And of course, this city has it's gonna have a lot of artificial lighting. So we have to do something with that, I guess. So far, I kind of like the look this gives. That's a plus. Ditch the green. I'm gonna use the greenish for the suits of these guys. I guess. Not sure whether this city is sort of alive and happy and kicking, or if it is a sad, abandoned city. I kind of want to make it feel alive. It's kind of nice to have a depressing scene. See, do I have some nice artificial light? I know I have a lot of city scenes. Well, a lot. Got some. For instance, this. Not really what we're looking for, but with some manipulation we can use it, I guess. Down here. Fix the perspective up a little bit. We need to flip it. Yeah. And then we need to stretch it. That. A little strong, but I think it can be really good. Places. Have to erase quite a bit, but I think I'd like to keep a lot of it as well. Maybe there's a sort of a corner here, and this is sort of a. Can look at the sky there. I don't know. It's a good idea. A little. I'll leave it for later. Maybe we'll lower the opacity a bit. Probably a little bit too much, but not sure if it's gonna work because it's a night scene and a city scene. It needs quite a lot of work to sort of start working. I need to do one more thing. That's this. Use the eraser to erase some bits out. I think that one will work once we have some. Let's make the values of these guys a little. There, so to multiply. Grab a nice big soft brush. that. Same goes for this vehicle thingy. Should use static lasso tools. And also on there, no, this layer. Probably something like that. That's a little bit better now, probably. Well, something like this. I think it can be a really cool scene. And now the bottom one. We really spent a lot of time with that one, but that's okay. It's okay. The bottom one, we wanted something rusty and dusty. Pick for that. This. Grab this. Maybe need some stuff in the sky. We're gonna blur this one because can't really see what's going on. So grab filter, blur, then we go motion blur. It's probably a little bit too much. 2 pixels will suffice, I guess, or maybe even 100. Let's go with 100. We want a different sky though, so we're gonna grab this one as well. We're gonna put this one on top and see if we can make a nice combination of it by using layer effects for this one. I don't want, yeah, I want something like this for the sky. Soft light is probably okay. Yeah, that's actually quite good. So and now we can grab brush, this one here. So we can sort of color pick from there as well and use those colors. This is obvious. Okay. Round TV lighter. Sort of dusty, deserty looking. And then vehicle can be a little darker. Probably a little bit too dark. And maybe we need some sort of signature color, either blue or red or something like that. Yeah, that's probably better. Righty. This doesn't work. That, there we go, and then this will work. Yeah. Cool. And then for this side, Let's go with this. Sorry. Probably should merge the layers fairly soon. And then this is gonna be darker. This is gonna be background because it's an overhang. So let's try to bring in those elements already to the painting. Probably a much. Yeah, it's quite nasty color that better. And I kind of want to keep a lot of color variation already, so I do stuff like this already. That we have the color variation get go. So that we don't erase too many variants in color. Let's finish the building first. Go, alright, that's way too dark. Something like this, that's light. Something like that for the background. Go. Stuff in some brighter oranges here and there. Maybe the car has some orange stripes as well. It's a car, but land hovercraft. It's to be this. This is looking out pretty nice. So, okay. Really like this one. It's messy and I don't know, it's really cool. That's what I had in mind for this one. Mission accomplished, I guess. Something like that. I think that's kind of cool. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done on these. Yeah, I think today was good. We did some nice sketching. We got some really cool ideas. We got some nice. We did some nice sort of thumbnail sketches, and I think we can definitely use those to continue. Let's merge all these together. And save the image. Alright, so that's it for today. On Monday, yeah, I think it's probably going to be Monday. On Monday we will continue with these, and we will start to refine them into somewhat more refined paintings, because there's a lot of stuff to be done on these. I'm looking forward to it. I really like those. Thank you for watching so far. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.